Hello, everybody. This is AI Dungeon Crawlers. Today is Monday, July 18th, 2022, and welcome to the dungeon, where we four traverse the treacherous mind of a sinister AI programmed with the insights of 10,000 authors, throwing midterm after midterm at our every turn as we struggle to write the greatest high school coming-of-age story. Since ADC episodes 2, 16, 19, 25, maybe 27, definitely 37, to some extent 45, 51, 52, and 59. I'd like to say thank you to our patrons, Twask and Katarina. If you want to join us on Patreon and support the show, click the link below. It really is the best way to support the show and guarantees we get the most of the money, not Amazon or YouTube. That being said, we greatly appreciate any tips, bits, and subs. They don't go to waste. I just want to mention, that's like the most dangerous part of the show for me, saying tips, bits, and subs, is one letter goes wrong and the whole thing falls apart. We have a few new shows in the works, and I'd like to expand our presence. Easiest way to have that happen faster is with audience support. Every little bit helps. First and foremost, welcome to Gamerface Julian. Hi, never seen you before in the chat. Welcome. As well as Orvilius, who followed us 5 minutes ago, and Daggertson, who followed us 5 days ago. Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
Now, joining me in the yearbook tonight, voted Life of the Party by the class of 2022, it's Eric Lehman. Voted Best Hair by the class of 1977, it's Noah Schaefer. And voted Most Infuriatingly Square Jawline by all of us, it's special guest Ryan Whittal. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. First and foremost, hi, Ryan. Welcome to the show. How was your weekend?
Thank you. Very good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, cool. What'd you get up to?
Just a couple of shows here and there. Rocky Horror. Went to see Thor.
Oh yeah, you saw Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good.
And yeah, because today, we have days off.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything exciting planned for your new weekend as it happens?
No, just the laundry that I was supposed to do today. Do it
Cool.
tomorrow.
I respect that. Life of a performer.
I got to give a shout out to my fam. They all came to the show on Sunday.
Oh, nice. What did they think?
They loved it. My mom cried after the show.
Oh,
I
what?
didn't expect tears after Rocky Horror, but there you go.
That's so sweet. That's wonderful.
She was into it.
I love that. My parents came on Saturday night. Hi, Mom, you're in the audience. They similarly had a great time, which is delightful. I love it when you can share something you've been working hard on with family, and they have more to say than just, that was interesting. Shout out from Orvilius in the chat saying, finally get to see an episode live. Watched all of your YouTube videos. Love it. Thank you. Great to see you. Thanks for coming on by. Eric, hello. Sorry, that was too crunchy for my introduction to you.
I love the crunch.
Okay. How was your weekend? How you doing?
Okay. I doing all right. It was a slow weekend. Yeah. Oh, loving it. Yeah. I don't know. God, it's just starting to get hot here.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I'm barring up for those like 2 weeks of the year where it's actually not great.
Yeah, it happens every time. We were talking about this a while ago. Like, you can get away in Canada without having AC, except for those 2 weeks in mid to late July, early August.
Yeah. Screw those weeks.
Eric,
anyways, how's Noah doing?
Oh, okay. I was going to finish all the business, but
all
sure,
right,
Noah.
fine. What's the business, Jack? Before we
That's fine, okay. Business is over. Canceled business. Noah,
all
how was
right.
your weekend?
My weekend was fine. My weekend was good.
I feel like you're lying to me.
I don't know. I didn't really. I'm trying to think of what I did with my weekend. I hung out with my partner. Not much.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, exactly. It was nice. It was simple.
Not all of us are doing shows, you two, and having a career, so they say. Noah's making a billboard. Noah's making a billboard that's going to go up at Dundas Square.
He is. He was like, it's just one of the small ones. They're like, okay. And he's like, I got a picture of it. They sent it to me. Do you want to see what the billboard looks like? We're like, sure. It's the one over the Uniqlo. Like, it's just this massive one over the corner of the building. It's enormous, Noah.
Yeah, for our international viewers, Dundas Square is like New York City's Times Square, but a tenth as big. Like
and full of religious fanatics screaming into microphones.
They do that. I assume that happens at Times Square as well, though.
Yes.
I guess, but it's so much bigger that you can avoid it. Dundas Square is like one corner, and thusly you can hear all 4 of them yelling at once.
Once, yeah. Anyways, Noah's doing that, everyone. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
I guess. Sorry, I am frazzled. I am all over the place.
Noah's also doing the stream today, guys.
Yeah.
Because Jesse has the COVIDs.
Yeah.
Again, round 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Everybody send Jesse love and support.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
send Noah strength, because it feels like he needs it today.
In fact, if you're not in the Discord, Orvelius and Gamerface Julian, type ! Discord, where you will find Jesse's profile there, and send him some love.
Oh,
You can
that'd be
vote
nice.
for him for class president, as indicated by the screen I have up for him.
That's
Oh.
lovely. Nice. I think that's all the business, right? I've suitably performed all of the conversation that needs to occur
We're
before
gonna
the
drink
show can begin.
today.
Yes, we are. Yes, well
That was
reminded.
what you were going to talk about right before
That's,
I
and I
rudely
felt
passed
like
it
we
on
touched
to
on it
Noah.
already. Thank
Yeah.
you. Go ahead.
All right.
You rudely invited someone else to speak.
Um, yeah. So we were discussing today. So we're doing it in the theme of John Hughes movies, which is near and dear to like most of us here, except for Jack, who for some reason hasn't seen any of them.
I've seen half of Home Alone. What do you want from me?
Uncultured swine. Anyways, one of the premier directors, writers, and producers of 2 generations almost, or a generation and a half. We thought that it would be cool. Like John Hughes movies, the problems, they come fast and loose, and they're firing on all cylinders. So we're gonna drink whenever we solve a problem. Anytime we overcome that adversity,
I love that.
take a drink.
That's
we're
also
also
just
gonna-
like good storytelling. That
Yeah.
should happen.
Yeah, it should. We'd hope so. But that is one of the things that makes them so charming, is that things are always happening and moving on and building on each other. I looking at them this week, I need to go back and watch them all, because they really are some great pieces of cinema. We're also going to drink anytime to continue our game, and I swear to God, we'll all remember it. Noah's going to hide things in the art. And so
Yes.
he's gonna be making some grades. So he's gonna be hiding some grades, and we're gonna drink anytime we spot Noah making the grade.
I see an A in that sentence, Noah.
Oh yeah, there's an A. Sure.
There's 2 A's.
A
3.
couple A's. There's a
Aw,
few
man.
A's. There's an A plus at the end to make the heat.
Thanks. Oh,
Hey, that's a
Lord.
plus.
A. All right.
Ryan, when we asked you what genre you wanted to do, you just said John Hughes is a genre. And I wasn't sure what that encompassed, but looking at all of his films, they really do all sit in a similar pocket from the 1980s. If you were to describe it to the audience in a sentence, how would you pitch this kind of film?
Definitely coming of age, regardless of what age that is, in how it relates to your family, and also what your family dynamic is. It's not always a nuclear family, and it could be like Uncle Buck, for example. The kids gravitated to John Candy, and that was their growth and their bonding. Kevin McAllister's family was away for the entire movie, trying to get back to him as their quest, while he was on his own quest for independence and growth and expansion, and then how they reunited at the end. And then Ferris Bueller, there's different family dynamics between Ferris and between his best friend Cameron. So just that personal growth and how it relates back to each individual's set friends or fam.
Yeah, that's one beautiful sentence.
Oh, sorry. Really long.
A wonderful C-
sentence.
on this one.
Sorry.
Are you ready to dive in, guys? Should we just get
Let's
started?
just go. So
Let's
you're going to
go.
be doing the main character this week, right, Jack?
I'll voice them. Having seen half of Home Alone, I feel like I have enough knowledge to lead a John Hughes movie. Shout out to Country Bun, subscribed for one more month. He's been subscribed for 12 months. That's a full
Wow.
year of Country Buns in our
Wow.
life. That Country Bun has been in our oven for a whole year.
Blows by.
Sure does. Good Lord.
Wow.
Let's get started.
All right, let's go. Pleasant View is a small town in the woods of Washington. To many, it's a small piece of paradise away from the modern world of 1987. Oh boy. The town is isolated without much contact with the rest of Washington. It can be a frustrating place to grow up so far away from the moving world. The students of Woodhaven High School often feel chained to a life that's been written for them, and many dream of leaving. Regardless, though, for 4 years, Woodhaven High School is the center of the universe. You are Tom Sander, a male human student in Woodhaven High School. You're a senior.
That was a close call. I was worried about that.
Ooh. You're a senior who will graduate in 4 months, and you can't wait. You've been accepted to Brown University and can't wait to leave behind Woodhaven and the jocks. You've always dreamed of being... Oh, I scrolled too far. You've always dreamed of being an artist. When you aren't in class, you're usually drawing or working on an art project at home. You love to cook, particularly spaghetti, and you love your friends. I feel like this is Noah. Everyone, I feel like this is Noah. I just have to say, Noah eats spaghetti like 5 days a week.
Oh, are you calling out Noah's college cooking habits now?
No, I'm just pointing out that Noah eats spaghetti 5 days a week and does nothing but draw.
Noah, would you say that you love to cook?
Well, I mean, I enjoy it. I actually don't. I do enjoy it. I feel like I could probably do more with it. Because as Eric says, I eat spaghetti like 5 days a week.
Well, then there you go.
All right. Just
we're
going to put that out there.
My
That was all written by the AI, by the way. And I just noticed it.
The AI is just trying to tell my story if I were alive in 1987 in a John
keep
Hughes
that in
movie.
mind.
Anyways, all right, let's get back to Tom. Your best friend is Mike, who's dating your ex-girlfriend, Liv. Mike is more of a jock than you are, and he doesn't share your interest in being artistic. He enjoys playing on the Woodhaven High School football team. School has been hard to focus on since you've been accepted to university. For the first time in your life, it feels like you have the space to breathe and nothing to strive for. This has made school feel a lot less interesting, a lot more boring than usual. Your ex-girlfriend is Olivia.
A lot of exposition off the top of this one.
Yeah.
It's like if John Hughes movie started with like a Star Wars crawl. Like, here's who everybody is.
In New York City, one boy.
Breakfast Club would be a lot less interesting if you're like, here's the sad one. Here's the other sad one from a bad home.
Your ex-girlfriend is Olivia, who has started dating Mike. You two used to be good friends before you started dating. You used to spend all your time together. Your relationship ended badly, and the two of you haven't spoken in 2 months. Honestly, you kind of hope that Olivia and Mike break up. A little selfish there, Tom. I'll say. You arrive at school on Tuesday morning and walk in through the front door. The hallway looks oddly empty. Your footsteps echo on the hall's tile floor.
Tom?
You spin around.
Mike.
Yeah, man, what's up?
You stand in silence for a moment, looking down at your feet. You break the silence and say,
Have you heard from any universities yet?
your interview for Brown is in a month, but you've started preparing for it.
I'm definitely getting in. I'm in Brown. I'm going there.
Why would they be interviewing?
Yeah, man, I've gotten into Columbia and Yale.
No way. Columbia and Yale. Wow.
Yeah, man, what do you think about it? Are you going to Brown?
That's the idea. Rhode Island. Here I come.
Hey, cool. I'll see you there, man. I gotta go.
What? Wait, what? Oh.
I feel like Mike's not a very good listener. I feel like you watch as Mike walks away and then turn back to your locker. You open your locker and take out your bag. You put your books in your backpack and slam your locker shut.
Well,
You say,
time to go to class. Perfectly normal thing for me, a human teenager to say.
Certainly a human teenager.
All right, well, I'm going to go to my homeroom, which is my, I'm an artist. Let's say I'm taking some sort of life drawing class that I start the day with or something. I'm also, I'd like to say, no one else is in the hallways. Am I running late? Or is it just like a dead school?
You're in small town Washington.
Yeah, fair enough.
Could be just like, it's a, no, I don't know.
You want to go to life drawing class?
Yeah, I'm thinking life drawing. That seems like I don't know. He's a bit of a jock, but not much of a jock. I feel like he's not going to be doing like collage or something.
But, yes, that was my favorite class in high school. Was
everyone knows
collage.
that collage is the highest form of art, and I don't want this man going in there cutting up pieces of paper.
All right, so we're
He's a
going to
serious
life
artist.
drawing.
Yeah.
We're going to say it happens to start the day.
down for
But Ryan,
Hey.
what are we drawing in life drawing class that is making our favorite class not as stimulating as it usually is?
I think we have a volunteer model named
Okay.
Liv.
Oh,
No. Oh no, that's so uncomfortable. Oh god.
And so inappropriate, you're life drawing a student at the school.
there's a lot to unpack here.
There's a lot to unpack. This school is underfunded. We
not-
don't even have like a local old man.
No, it's Liv. She's tastefully covered, but still
Okay.
suggestive. But still suggestive.
Tasteful but suggestive.
All right.
No, I see you're adding more detail to the lockers instead of taking us over to life drawing class.
While I type this, Jack, can you put in Corwin Jacobson, our seemingly creepy
yes.
cobbler from Marie?
From Maine. All right, so the chat, just so you know, Ryan, can introduce characters and concepts into the story. And the Mysterious P has introduced a man by the name of Corwin Jobson. I'm going to punch this name and the information into the AI and see what they what they give to us. Character. Genre. John Hughes movie. Description, according to Mysterious P, a seemingly creepy cobbler from Maine. Much nicer once you get to know him. All right. And according to the AI, let's see who they are. So this person's going to exist in the world, info, sort of that's informing the AI about the world. But if they'll show up, hard to say. All right, here's what the AI says about Corwin. Corwin Jobson is a meek, unassuming, has a knack for drawing, and is unabashedly gay. He uses the stage name Corwin Harris as an open secret, and he seems to enjoy the limelight when he has it. He is the narrator of the John Hughes movie.
Wait, what?
You're Corwin Jobson.
Is that actually what it says?
That's verbatim what it says, yes.
All right.
How do you feel?
Oh. All right, well, we'll see if he comes up. I'll read Corwin if he ever arrives.
If Corwin ever arrives in the story, we need to figure out why Corwin is telling this story. He's not even the main character. Country Bun says, I'm from New England, and I can confirm the presence of many a Corwin type here. But I think that's in reference to the creepy cobbler from Maine, not the unabashedly gay limelight-stealing young man. Oh, we have another one from Red Gamer Soul that we'll get caught up on as well.
All right, we're going to get
Let's
caught up
read
on
on
it, but
in the
let's
meantime.
read. I've finally finished this prompt. All right. You head to your favorite class, life drawing. Life drawing class usually makes you happy, But as you walk in the door, your heart sinks. Liv, with an extra capital I, shit, I shouldn't have put that, is sitting in the model pedestal and will be the model the class is drawing today. You groan.
You look troubled, Tom.
Hey, Liv.
You say without turning around.
How are things?
Good, thanks for asking. How about you?
You mind putting just like a shirt on or something so I can sit down? Do you mind if I hit enter? Can I just?
I already did, Jack. We're on the
great.
same
Let's go.
page.
Fantastic. I talked to Mike earlier.
You
He
say.
got into Columbia and Yale.
Really? Great for him. He'll get a great education.
Yeah, I guess. You look great, by the way.
Thanks.
Do you want to ask if they're still together? It sounds like
Whoa!
she's being
No,
distant.
I can't walk into my class, see my ex-girlfriend on the pedestal in like a toga, and be like, "So you still seeing that guy?" I'm gonna go to my seat and sit down, and maybe I'll try and catch her afterward. I don't want to do this in front of everybody.
All right. While you're thinking about what to do, Jack, we have Sam Belize as well in this world. Sam is a professional photographer that sees your talent and wants you to join the photo club, but no one's quite sure if they are male or female.
Okay.
It's 1987.
An androgynous, non-binary Sam from the photo club.
All right.
I think I'm not gonna ask her any more questions in front of the whole class. I'm gonna go sit down and maybe try to catch her afterward. But maybe this is a time when in the story we express that we still have feelings for her, looking at her and drawing her, and it's like that scene from Titanic, and I'm blushing.
In
In the meantime, here is Sam Belize. They've just been generated.
I did it already. I just
Oh,
read
you
that.
already did.
I did that, Jack. I'm on top of it.
Wait, no, I thought you read the one from Red Gamer Soul.
That is Sam Belize. Oh.
Yeah. You didn't generate
that,
it, did you?
I didn't realize it didn't generate anything
That's
extra.
okay. I've generated one here, and here's what it says. Sam Belize is a shutterbug from San Diego who looks quite youthful for his age. So we've engendered them all, immediately. Often finds himself in the company of older gentlemen, possibly due to his good looks and boyish curly hair. That got real creepy really fast. I don't like this one. I'm gonna take a second pass at that.
What is the life drawing teacher's name, everybody?
Let's see. Ryan, what are you thinking?
Oh. Mr. Bruce.
Mr. Bruce.
I always like that name, Bruce. That was very random, but just like it. It's a name that I feel like you don't hear a lot nowadays. It's great.
I think it was popular in the 80s.
The name Bruce.
Oh.
In Australia.
sure.
This story actually has been taking place in Australia up to this point, so I'd ask that everybody reflect that in their vocal choices.
In Washington, Australia. Oh, none of the characters seem to be in the world info. I'm not sure why.
Really? What?
None of the ones that we just generated.
Oh, maybe yeah.
Corwin seems to be gone as well. Huh.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not sure what to make of this.
All right. Well, while you're figuring that out, I'm going to
All
say
right.
you sit in your seat and try not to make eye contact with Liv. Mr. Bruce, the life drawing teacher, enters the room and stands in front of the class. He opens his satchel and says,
As you all know, today is Halloween. I think we should have an easy subject this week. How about the Marshmallow Man?
the class groans.
Who here has seen the movie The Blob?
Mr. Bruce says, the class groans again.
Well, for those of you who haven't,
Mr. Bruce says,
Here's Liv. This is a horrible segue. Mr. Bruce is a terrible person. Like, oh, welcome to life drawing. I guess we're drawing the Marshmallow Man today. Oh, there's more.
The Blob is a 1958 horror movie about a giant blob creature that terrorizes a small town. The movie was filmed in black and white and is considered by many to be a classic of the genre. We watched the movie in class the other day.
Day.
You whisper to Liv.
That was me. I whispered that, Liv.
We did?
Liv says.
Oh, I was thinking of a different movie. I guess I was thinking of the movie...
I'm just hitting enter.
What's happening?
I feel like the teachers here are not very good. It's that small town teacher syndrome where they just, it's not the cream of the crop when it comes to Pleasantville, Washington or whatever.
I guess I was thinking of the movie The Upside of Anger. Have you been to that movie?
Whoa.
It's a good rom-com.
Yeah.
You whisper.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
You say.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, way to play it cool. Way to play it cool.
Definitely haven't seen this movie. I like the idea that Liv is in our class, but it's her turn to be the subject of the drawing class. We don't have models. It's just like other students.
Well, that kind of makes sense, though. And it doesn't have to be naked drawing. It can just be you take turns
Yeah,
in class
right.
being the model.
And she's got some sort of fabric to make it challenging.
Yes, that is how drawing works.
It's hard work. I don't know. I'm not an artist, okay? These hands do nothing but touch keys.
Noah, isn't for artists one of the challenges for them or requirements is can you draw fabric?
Yes, actually, it was the first question that I've been asked in any interview when it comes to my art is, can you draw fabric? To which I say, I think so.
To which I say, all of my characters are naked at all times.
Yeah.
I do either nudity or skin-tight spandex, thank you.
I ace denim, but I'm not very good with lace. Flannel is something I am appreciatively getting better at.
Yeah.
Flannel's mostly squares on squares. Okay, carry on. It's fine. It's all good.
No, I appreciate hearing other people talking about drawing. It's very fun.
Thanks, Noah.
No, Red Gamer Soul, we only have one ex-girlfriend. She's named Olivia, or Liv for short. Sorry, I was just talking to the chat. All right, let's continue. Mr. Bruce continues.
Today we are going to draw the Marshmallow Man. Can everyone draw the Marshmallow Man from memory?
The class thinks for a moment. Mr. Bruce continues.
In your sketchbooks, draw the Marshmallow Man. When you get home, we will view the film and critique each other's work.
So, all right. It's a small town.
Everyone lives in the same home.
Excellent.
All right, I feel like this is our first major obstacle, that we're caught in this world where we're just forced to be around things all the time that we don't like.
Yeah.
Right? We have
movies, people.
Kinds of movies and kinds of people, Jack. Selfish people. Yeah. And, it's just so I feel like we have to take an action. Like, damn
I'm
it.
down for that, yeah.
We're going to Brown. We're moving literally. I didn't even look. I just realized we're going literally as far away from here as possible on
this is
continental
true. To an
United
island
States.
on the East Coast.
Yeah. We might never see these people again. We could do anything we fucking want. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What do we do?
Sure.
How are we gonna make this life drawing class less shit?
Oh boy. Let's draw an image of Mr. Bruce instead of the Marshmallow Man. but we still label it as the Marshmallow Man, and we hand it in. Is that rebellious enough? I wasn't a very rebellious teenager. How do you make the most of this? I also would like to draw Liv. I feel like we should draw Liv at some point because, or else, as Orvilia says, why is she even there?
Well, because she's a student in the class, Orvilius. She has the right to be there too, and I think we were supposed to draw her, or maybe she was just joking around being on the model stand as well.
Oh, on the pedestal, true.
Yeah, that could work as well. All right, you draw Mr. Bruce as the Marshmallow Man and show it to Liv.
Oh, boy.
No, this is wrong. We don't like him, Liv.
You really like this
Okay,
teacher,
none
don't
of this
you?
makes sense. Yeah.
You know him, don't you?
We want to
And
drink
maybe that's
for-
you then also saying
That's
it's your
saying it.
lucky day.
Well, it's your lucky day.
Look, I think we're going to drink to forget. I don't want
All
no.
All right.
Let's go back. Hit that retry button.
All right. Drink to forget it, everybody. All right, we got this.
Oh, here we go. Do you want to give me the line before again?
You draw Mr. Bruce as the Marshmallow Man and show it to Liv.
No way.
It's
It's totally brilliant.
Thank you.
Liv says.
I feel like getting some fresh air. Want to skip class with me?
Yeah,
You say.
sure.
You and Liv walk down to the football field. The field's on the far end of campus. I feel like
I feel like this is our chance.
We've solved a problem here. We got out of the class. We screwed authority. We found an
There it is.
intimate moment with our ex-girlfriend, who we obviously still have feelings for.
I like to think my performance was nuanced. Thank you very much. Let's drink as we have solved the problem.
All right.
Red Gamer Soul says they have such good chemistry. What broke them up in the first place? Did we know what their falling out was about?
Let's ask her. You say,
Wait, what? We're
why
gonna ask
did
Hay.
we break up?
All right. I guess I'm 17 years old and stupid. This is reasonable.
You say.
Why? Oh, you put the word ever in there. All right. Why did we ever break up, Liv?
Way to get to business, man.
You wrote it. I don't really know, Tom.
No, she says. She says.
Yeah, I guess that's me.
Oh, okay. Let's fix that.
I don't really know, Tom. I guess it was because we weren't right for each other. We probably didn't have much in common. No,
Yeah.
we'll switch it.
I'll fix this. There we go. Yeah. Maybe we just weren't meant for each other. I guess so.
Hey,
Oh. Oh.
All right. I feel like Liv has a rebellious side. Ryan, what's Liv gonna do that's very rebellious in this moment?
in this moment, she just cut class. When they're heading to the football field, so I'd imagine Mike would be at the football field.
Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Is that why? Is she
Oh,
ditching
no.
us for Mike right now? She's like,
Hey, you want to skip class with me and go see Mike, my boyfriend?
walk with me to the football field where I'll leave you for Mike.
I think we got to tie it back to why she didn't really know he got into Brown or got into Columbia and Yale. So I think she could be like, Mike, you never told me
Oh, I see.
about the future.
Yeah, she didn't know about that. Oh, which is why she said, I guess he'll have a good education. Which is a pretty biting way of saying, like, wow, all right. That's actually, that's pretty cool. And we're coming along for moral support?
Well, because the three of you were friends at one point.
This is true.
Because you're still friends with Mike, and you knew this, and so I think she's going to use you as like You told him, but you didn't tell me.
I love it. That sounds good. I will say, like, per the conversation we had with Mike earlier, it looks like our relationship is pretty strained as well. Like, Mike didn't really listen to what we had to say. We didn't really talk about what was going on. We just kind of said, I'm going here, and we went, wow, cool. See you later. Sounds like we're having a hard time maintaining a lot of relationships right now.
Yeah, I feel like we're not very good at conflict. I feel like we don't say the things we feel. And
Right. But what about the story, Eric?
Okay. Hey, fuck you. I'm great at conflict.
Well done. You did it.
We're making strides every day.
Yeah. Sometimes people say I stride a little too far sometimes.
Yeah. Also, wow, no, I just want to point out, like, one side of this. Oh, I see. It's perspective. Never mind. I would have looked like an enormous idiot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, would have looked like that, yes.
Thank God I narrowly avoided that problem. It definitely looked like one was, like, on top of a ramp, and I was like, this is deeply unfair to the downhill side of the team. You flip a coin to see who's, like, running uphill for the whole game.
God, that'd be hilarious if someone they built an entire football field on like a 45-degree hill, and you're just all right.
It's a small town. It's the only flat, treeless area they have around, so it's on an incline. Oh man, Ryan, were you like a particularly sporty person? I know you're quite fit now.
No, the opposite. I was a couch potato.
Really?
I loved TV, and theater, anything comedy. Wasn't until...
Did you ever play like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's okay. No, I never played any high school sports or anything like that. The drama club.
The drama club. What was the first like play or musical that you were in?
Probably Grease. I've done Grease 3 times, and I've been Eugene the Nerd all 3 times.
My
wow.
God. And now you're Rocky in Rocky Horror.
How the mighty have fallen, am I right?
Who's still pretty nerdy, probably.
Yeah.
It really is. You play him so meek. It's great.
I guess that's my strength.
I guess. This is very true. Seeing as you speak at about 29 decibels.
Trying to get close to the mic.
29 is actually quite loud.
I was just about to say.
That's like a chainsaw, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry. You must have been looking at that 29 in perspective. It looked a little bigger.
Now, I can't express my negative emotions, so good joke. All right, let's pick it up from hey, right after Liv says hey.
Hey.
Liv says. She looks across the football field and sees Mike. She runs across the field and the two of them embrace.
Mike.
Liv says.
Why didn't you tell me you got into Yale and Columbia?
It hurts to see them so happy.
Sorry, Liv.
Mike says.
I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to bother you. I'm not that busy.
Liv says.
I know.
Mike says.
I just wanted to tell you. I love Yale. Wow.
Liv says.
Yeah.
Wow, that went better than I expected. I really thought this would be like a, hey, how dare you not tell me? But no, this is like a...
So how are you going to express those negative emotions? They're seething in you. I can feel them.
Oh man.
What do you say?
Let's say
Brown's cool.
Sorry, what are you thinking? Sorry, Brown's cool too. I don't want to. I feel like this conversation is happening like 10 feet. He ran over to give him a hug. Feels weird
You'd
being
have
like
to
10
say it
feet away
really
saying,
loud for the perspective, but
hey, I hear Brown's pretty cool. You guys know Rhode Island? Yeah, it's a big island.
I don't think Rhode Island is actually an island, Jack.
It's a small state. Oh Lord. Okay. Yeah.
That's why
I guess
you're in
let's.
Brown.
Putting this into perspective,
Yeah.
it would seem like the best thing to do now would be to make a fool of ourselves for the plot. We need an exceptional low point. So I say,
You got 5 seconds before I say brown's cool too.
that's it. Let's do it. Brown's cool too, but we'll say it a little bit too loudly. Let's and make them uncomfortable, if you wouldn't mind.
Damn. You yell at them.
Brown's cool too. It's pretty. Yeah, it's a good school. You guys hear me? I'll say it again. Oh. Yikes. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no.
All right, let's take it again. You yell at them.
Yeah, Brown's cool too.
Mike and Liv stop kissing.
Yeah.
They giggle.
Brown's cool too. What's up, pal?
Mike says.
Oh, nothing.
You say.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna just go back to class. So we're drawing the blob. That was a good movie. Catch you guys later. Stay safe out there. Oh God, that one hurt. I really thought we had a win there. That one fell apart pretty quick. Oh no.
All right.
Just paraphrase. Along
But
that
you don't go
line.
back to class.
Oh really?
Where do you go, Jack?
I've got a secret spot that I go to. Maybe there's like a little forest.
Let's have a character there.
Nearby.
Who
with like a
I
little,
want you to
spot
go
we
to.
could sit at.
I want you
I
to go
like
to
that.
a place
Let's
with
talk to
a person.
Say that again, sorry.
Yeah, go to a place with a person.
Yeah. Maybe the caretaker is also there. We're good buds with the caretaker, Corwin.
Oh
what's
shit!
his name?
It's me.
Corwin Jobson. It's you, the flamboyantly gay caretaker, who loves the limelight.
How do I spell Corwin?
It's C-O-R. I can't remember if it's Win or Bin. Win. W-I-N.
In
Jobson.
Jobs.
J-O-B-S-O-N.
Jobson, the school caretaker.
Ryan Gabriel says, your best friend is such a Chad. To which Ryan Whittal says, oh, Chad. Thanks, Ryan. All right, here we go.
Yeah, so you say.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to class. Blob's a good movie. Catch you later.
You say. But you don't go back to class. You wander the grounds and run into Corwin Jobson, the school caretaker.
Hey,
You say.
what are you doing out here so late?
Oh, just taking care of a few odds and ends, Corwin says. Heard you got into a prestigious school.
Yeah. I got accepted to Brown. Any thoughts on that one, Corwin?
It's great, Corwin says. I mean, it's not Yale.
I mean, oh, that's him. Oh, yikes, Corwin. Were you typing that the whole time?
Yeah, I typed it's not Yale.
Wow.
Brown's
okay,
Brown's
hold
a
on.
pretty
Like,
good.
just to drive this home, is Brown a real school?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't know Brown?
Is it the Moses Brown School, the Quaker school in Providence, Rhode Island, offering pre-kindergarten through secondary
No.
school? It's not.
Brown is one of the Ivy League schools of of America. It's actually a very good school, but it's the whipping boy of all the Ivy schools because it is so close to Harvard on the map.
Oh.
So everyone says if you don't go to Harvard, you go to Brown.
I see.
But it's actually
I
an
see.
exceptional school, which is partially what's really funny about the stigma.
I will say, Brown, I'm looking at their coat of arms right now. Their coat of arms is not exceptional. It is a shield on which you have a red cross, and in each corner of the cross, you have a book, a book, a book, and another book.
Well, but I think not exceptional is is like the tagline of Brown. Very competent, not exceptional kind of thing.
Their motto is In Dio Speramus, which is in God we hope.
That was indeed sperms.
Surprise, surprise.
All right. Right.
Anyways.
Corwin says, yeah, Brown's a pretty good school. Corwin says, I got accepted to Western Washington University. It's a pretty good school. And now I'm a janitor.
Yeah. I'm sure it's good.
I applied for Eastern Washington University as well, but I never heard from them.
Wow.
You say.
Really interesting.
I'm just going to hit enter.
I'm going to go back to class. Blob's a good movie. See you later. Oh my God. He's still going. Didn't they didn't accept you.
No, I never got a rejection letter.
So how'd you find out?
I got a letter in the mail that said your application's been denied.
It's not a rejection letter. It's a denial letter.
I never sent them an application.
Wow. Wow, they're pre-screening students now, are they? It's pretty crazy. Wow. All right. Well, can I just launch into my problems? What if I just started saying I'm in love with Liv? She's my ex-girlfriend, and no matter how much of an idiot my best friend Max is, she's still in love with him, and she used to push me to be better, but now, now we barely say hello to each other, and I'm feeling lost and aimless. And Max is a good guy, but he hasn't grown up in 7 years, and he and Liv aren't good together. They look happy, but I know they're not. No, I don't want to be an incel. That's a bad direction to put that. I'm sad, man. Things aren't looking up for me right now. And Brown's not even the school I want to go into. To be honest, I'm not even accepted. I just have an interview there. And I
And my brother's in Singapore.
My brother's a lawyer in Singapore. My parents want me to be a lawyer. I don't want to be a lawyer. I'm not going to drop all that on you right now, but family history and stuff, it goes way back. I don't think he's going to react to any of this. I feel like he's going to continue talking about schools. How much of that do you get? How close are we?
He wants Liv
Ryan,
back.
what was sorry, dude?
I think he wants Liv back.
That's the big thing, yes. Ultimately, I would like Liv back.
I think he may want to go where she's going to go. Or at least want her to go to Brown.
Oh, yeah, we didn't actually ask her about schools at all, did we?
No, because you're terrible at listening, and that's part of why you guys split up.
Probably, yes. I don't even know why we split up. It's because you weren't listening. I feel like Liv's got a school that she's always wanted to go to, and we would know that if we paid attention.
She wants to go to Harvard, which is why you subconsciously chose somewhere close to Harvard.
So close. What was your school application period like in your life, Ryan?
It'd be similar to yours when auditioning for Randolph.
I mean, I didn't go to Randolph out of high school. I actually went to be an English major first.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Did you go to like theater school right out of high school?
Then I'm a total liar.
Oh, okay.
I went to the University of Windsor first for 2 years.
Oh yeah, for what?
I did a year of music and a year of drama in education. But I was more passionate about the performing rather than the theory of everything.
So why did you go into the theory of everything first?
I think it was just what was available at that time.
Yeah, fair enough. Did you apply to other theater schools, or was Randolph like the one that you looked at and were like, I'm going?
I looked at Randolph and Sheridan, but even when I went to Sheridan, I didn't get a good feeling
Yeah, it's a different vibe.
in the space.
sure.
Yeah, nothing wrong or against it. It just wasn't a match.
No. Fair enough. Yeah, I get that. How old is your character, says Red Gamer Soul? How old is our guy?
Must be 18, 19, whatever senior in high
18
school.
or 19 sounds about
Yeah.
right. Like we're getting ready to go to school.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently we're getting a drink.
Oh.
All right. Sorry. That would explain why the question came up.
You snap and blurt out.
I'm in love with my best friend's girlfriend, who is my ex-girlfriend, and they're both great together, and I hate them both. And I don't even want to go to Brown, but that's where I have an interview. And my brother is a lawyer in Singapore, and I never see him, and I miss him. I wish Liv would go to Brown with me.
Wow. You sound like you need a drink.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, come on, I'll buy you a drink.
What?
You get a drink and Corwin buys you another. So, what's the matter with you?
Everything. Life is hard.
Life's hard for everybody. But you can have a beer and relax.
I wish there was a magic cure. Oh, is this the conceit of the movie?
Yeah. I wish there was a magic cure too.
There are no cures. You just have to deal with it.
Yeah. Suppose you're right.
This is when we reveal Corwin's indeed like a genie in disguise. Some sort of
Unless-
magical creature. Unless.
I don't know. I feel like you are in the prime moment to figure out what you need to do because you're taking control of this over Corwin. So he's obviously a loser who he's not going to be able to give you help.
Come on, alcohol. That's the answer.
Yeah. Do you want to end up like Corwin, Tom?
No, absolutely not.
Then-
no.
Yeah, then what are you doing here in this
At
dive
a bar
with
at
the
2 o'clock
janitor?
in the afternoon.
You're not going
Yeah.
to be one of those people who goes to West Washington University.
No shame if you went to West Washington University, by the way. Just want to say. Speaking of which, Bijan Flame Yanji from YouTube says, "Gotta say, Tom being a real whiner. Oh no, I'm only going to the 14th most prestigious school in the nation. Pity me."
14th?
I mean, it's not a high
Is it
number.
really?
There's a lot of schools in the nation. 14's pretty high, I guess.
Let's focus.
Okay,
I
think
Jack, what do you do?
I don't know. Ryan, where would you push this?
We start to devise a plan.
Yeah.
A plan for getting
Fine.
into or getting Liv to come to school with me?
That's the thing we can immediately affect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to find out where she's going, I guess, and go there. We'll legally blonde this.
As also, we need to remind ourselves why Liv liked us in the first place and start to bring those qualities back out or actions or whatever she was attracted to the first time.
Yeah. Cool.
That-
Dig that.
Or try to match what Mike is doing and fail at it.
Or
We should
degrade
probably
Mike.
do that first, to be honest.
to have a
We
realization
need to
that
affect it superficially before we
Go
start
deep.
looking internally. Yeah. All right. So all of this illegal drinking with a middle-aged West Washington University graduate has helped us enact a plan.
yeah, he's got
If
the
she's-
liquid
Sorry?
courage. He's got the liquid courage now.
He's got the liquid
Yeah.
courage now.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Wait
gonna
a
go.
minute.
Oh, what?
I think that that we've got some ascending grades with a B and an A.
We have an A and an R. You got to retake that class.
R for needs
Are
improvement.
they grades?
They are grades.
Reads
Yay.
improvement. Yeah. All
I
right.
will say this: you have missed grades.
I know we
Oh,
have, but
no.
I've been writing a lot, and I,
I
haven't
know.
had the
I
right
have.
amount of time.
I've fully not been. I got to pay more attention. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Not making the grade right now. But
I'm
Noah,
sorry.
you are. I like how you are our lead character.
No.
Oh
It looks like you, Noah.
Noah!
No.
You're drawing yourself.
At all
Look at him,
times, this is just
despondent.
how he looks.
Wait, let me
Contemplating that beer with a cork in it for some reason.
All right, though. But we need our big end of act, like our big to tide us over intermission moment. So what do we do, Jack? Or how do we build ourselves up?
Yeah.
Tear Mike down. Charm Liz's pants off again. Yeah.
What's something wild and stupid to do? Should we challenge him to his one-on-one football? Play a sport against him and get wrecked? Do we?
It's the 80s. We have boom boxes and cars.
What's that movie?
That's
where
like
they stand
everything that
outside with the big
Yeah.
boom boxes and cars.
That's about the
Oh, man.
extent of teenage
Um,
culture.
All right, cool. We'll challenge him to a road race around the campus of the high school.
Are we going to have a drag race? Are we going to organize a
drag race?
race?
Well, you say organize. It'll mostly be me being like, hey, let's race around the school, and hey, you live, you watch us race. And we've got a shitty old car, and he's got a
Chat, what
Dodge
kind of car do we
Challenger
have?
or whatever.
What do we have?
Oh,
what
man.
car?
Drunken racing. Oh god, yeah, we've also just been to the bar. This is a terrible idea. The drag race, the main character is going to die. We will be in a horrible accident, yeah. A 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air.
Fuck. That's. Hey!
You want to know if someone's been
A
here
67
for a while.
red Plymouth. Ryan, what do you think? Is a drag race a dumb idea for a movie like this? I'm actually a bit floundering. I'm a bit lost.
I think it's a good possibility. Definitely 80s inspired. The other
All right.
thought I had to go with trying to match Mike is I don't know if Brown needs him to have extracurriculars that he doesn't, so he's like,
Oh,
Mike,
yeah.
Mike, I've been asking you, can I be on the team? And
We get in on the football team. We
tries
Uh,
to
what else
impress
does
Liv
Mike
that
do?
way because that's what
Yeah.
Liv seems to be into, and then gets crushed in the game.
ooh, or even in tryouts or whatever. Unless they just
Or even
let
in
him on
tryouts,
for whatever
totally.
reason.
Like, because
Hmm.
maybe by now the team has joined Mike on the field, so he runs to be like, I can be a part of this team, right? Because he's got the liquid courage going on. But then they're like,
Right.
okay, stick around, and
Right.
then gets crushed. It could be
Yeah,
a scrimmage, doesn't
that's
have to be
pretty
a
good,
full
too.
game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if it's just like an intramural thing.
Mhm.
Oh no. What are you thinking, Eric? Any of these call to you? Or you already typing up the drag race?
I'm going to combine them.
I challenge the whole football team to a drag race. I in my car and the team running.
Football in cars.
1967 Chevy Plymouth. Or Plymouth.
Yeah, all of these cars are Chevys, aren't? Or is Plymouth a Chevy? I actually don't know.
I think it is, but I'm actually not sure.
Let's see here. Plymouth car. Chrysler. Plymouth is a Chrysler. Oh, I'm so ashamed. Football in cars is indeed a monster truck show. Ryan, what is something that you did in high school that haunts you to this day? You know those like embarrassing memories where you're like, no one else probably remembers that this happened, but it still keeps me awake at night.
Sure. I made fun of somebody in order to get laughs. I'm a horrible person.
Oh, that's rough.
A horrible
person.
No.
What
A
happened?
nice
Can I ask
person.
what happened?
No. I've confessed too much already.
Was this in like a class or something? That's awful.
And I was in the hallway, of course. Just trying to entertain some people.
Yes, Ryan, tell the world. It's a bit specific. This is true. We did all confess to crimes a couple of weeks ago, so I don't know.
Bless.
I'm sorry.
It was, well, I'll tell you this story. It was grade 9. So for those who don't have middle school, I didn't. I went from grade whatever to grade 8 and then switch. So that's a huge transition.
Yeah.
So I was trying to fit in, be cool, be funny, make people laugh. And at our grade 8 graduation, a girl who had graduated, her sister came up to the stage and gave her a rose, which like is sweet and supportive and kind. Yeah, but I made fun of it because no one else got a rose.
Oh.
And then I was like, as soon as it was over, I was like, I just want to die. That wasn't funny at all.
Oh no. Did you ever apologize to that person?
I did not.
Oh, well, they're here tonight.
Yeah, I hope I get punched in the face.
Oh.
Oh man, that's a good one. In that it's horrible and keeps you awake at night. I don't know why I asked this question. I was like, oh, I got pantsed in the hallway once or something. No, this is worse.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. No. That's one of those things, like, when you're growing up, even if you're aware from your parents telling you and your friends and the way that you feel in these situations and stuff, you still make decisions that you look back on, like there's part of your brain that's like, we should test the boundaries now. Let's push a little bit. You look back at those, you're like, there's no rational reason why I said or did awful.
All right, we've got a
Kids
lot
are
of
dumb.
text.
Oh my God. Where does it start?
I put in a
Okay.
few prompts. as
There it
you were
is.
talking. All right.
That's it. I'm ready to go when you are.
That's it. We're all spinning our wheels and going nowhere. You stand up at the bar and say,
I just gotta scroll through and find the text. I can't stand just sitting around as the world passes me by. I'm joining the football team.
you hop into your 1967 red Plymouth and race towards the football field. A little drunk, you drive the car into the field where practice has started, leaning out the window, shouting, Mike! Mike looks at you and says,
What?
I'm joining the football team.
you say.
I thought you already were.
Mike says,
Yeah.
you say.
But now I'm a full-time member.
Mike says,
Sorry. I got lost.
full-time member.
Where is that?
No. What do
I
you
see.
say, Mike?
Got it. Sorry, I had it all chunky. Okay.
That is okay.
I say,
But now I'm a full-time member.
that's cool. Come on out to the field.
Mike and the whole team look a little concerned as your engine sits and idle in the end zone. You jump out and sprint to the center of the field. Mike says,
Mike's having trouble with the
"Oh no."
script.
Who wrote this thing? Patrons are so impractical.
Okay, let's see. Okay. What are you doing? Wait, that's...
I'm joining the football team.
You say,
Are you serious?
Paul asks.
Yep.
You say,
I'm joining the football team.
Oh boy.
Mike says.
I'm joining the football team.
You grab a football from Mike and try and throw it.
You can't throw.
Mike says.
I can do everything.
You say as you throw the football. The football goes flying high into the air.
A 60-yard pass.
Mike says.
That's about the longest I've ever seen.
You throw the ball again.
Pass me another one. Yeah. Wow, this is going better than I expected.
Wow, you're a
Unless
savant.
this is an alcohol-fueled dream. I think I'm doing great, but it's really just kind of like piddling down and falling over.
I didn't realize that everyone's being sarcastic. 60 yards isn't bad, though. That's a pretty good pass.
That's a pretty good harm. Woodstock 6 says, I think he's joining the football team.
You throw the ball again. It goes flying high into the air.
How far did it go, Mike? I can't see, but you can with your measuring tape eyes. Be really specific with how far it went.
I'm having trouble with this.
Oh, no.
Okay. A 62-yarder.
Oh. Thank you.
Mike says.
I'm the best football player at Woodhaven High School.
You say. I feel like this is like beneath John Hughes, this next line, but Mike says.
Maybe. But you won't be able to do anything unless you can get your driver's license in 30 days.
Now get to it. Can we
We drove here, didn't we?
Can we sip to haze and get rid of that line? Can we say you slip and
yes.
fall and get a concussion?
Oh, absolutely. Let's just fall, cut to black. Yeah. I say problem solved.
All right. Can we go from you throw the ball
This
again?
entire movie's a...
Oh, sorry.
No, I've got some lag. You go ahead, please.
All right, go. All right. I have a feeling interwebs in Sterling are being interesting. We'll say you throw the ball again. It goes flying high into the air.
A 62-yarder.
Mike says.
I'm the best football player at Woodhaven High School.
You slip on the grass and get a concussion.
Oh, man. I'm the worst football player in the world.
You stumble off the field and get into your car. You drive back to the gas station, park your car. You walk inside and order coffee.
Can I get a coffee? Sorry, this is a gas station.
What are you doing here? Linda asks. Oh, sorry, shit.
Wait,
no.
isn't that our mom?
I think our mom in the World Info was named Linda, yes.
What are you doing here?
Linda asks.
I had an accident.
I just hit enter.
I'm drunk, concussed. I drove here.
And I'm going to Brown.
I'm going to Brown. And I got a concussion.
Are you all right?
Paul asks.
My brother Paul asks? He's back?
You have
I
a
don't know.
concussion. Things are happening.
I feel like we need to go back a little bit. Can we
Like
can we sit
driving
to
to the gas
Hayes
station, maybe.
and nix the drive to the gas station?
Yeah, I'm wondering about that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit too disparate.
Maybe we
like
could
we're-
we concuss and maybe we wake up in the hospital with Mom and Paul there or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Like your consciousness fades and you wake up in the school. ER or
The
something.
school, yeah, nurse's office or whatever.
In the nurse's office. That's the word.
That's nice. Don't care about this. Let's see here. Here's a message I just received on Instagram from a person I don't know. It says, I've been put in charge of fixing piano benches. Do you know anything about the broken piano benches at Sheridan?
What?
No.
What?
What?
No, I don't. I'm not sure. I thought it was a spam message, but it's like specific enough. Oh, maybe this is a person I know. No, I don't think it is.
Wait,
Anyways, that's the journey I'm on right now.
Wait. Okay.
Thank you for following. Moving on. Oh, man. I'm the worst football player in the world.
We're skipping a bit. Your consciousness fades. Oh, yeah. Wait, no. Your consciousness fades and you wake up in the nurse's office. You stand up and say,
Oh, how long was I out?
About 15 minutes.
the nurse says,
Are you okay?
No,
you say,
I'm not okay. I'm the worst football player in the world.
Oh, you don't know that.
Thanks.
the nurse leaves.
You don't have you don't have empirical evidence to suggest that.
You certainly haven't seen.
Also, yeah,
every
15
person.
minutes is long enough to be like permanent damage, isn't it? That's a long time to be out with a concussion.
The nurse leaves the room and you hear her say,
The worst football player in the world.
All right.
you sit down in the empty waiting room.
How bad am I?
You say,
The worst nickname in the world?
you fall asleep in the waiting room.
I hear you shouldn't fall asleep when you have a concussion.
You definitely shouldn't. She shouldn't have let you do that. You could die.
No good.
You wake up and feel disoriented.
Where am I? Are we about to enter a dream
Say.
sequence of some kind?
I feel like that's intermission. Are we doing a game today, Jack?
I didn't have time to put together like a trivia thing, but we can take a moment. Why don't we take a moment and have like a writer's room break for a second?
Yeah.
Let's
Jeez.
take a second to chat about what's happened, where we can go, and maybe start tying some threads together.
Yeah.
So,
Boy, oh boy.
story so far. Tom, we've learned a lot about Tom. We've learned, of course, that he's going to Brown. That he was dating Liv, and they broke up, probably because he's not a very good listener. And there's a lot of pressure on him from his family because his brother is quite successful. His best friend is already going to a couple of schools, so he's lying about being accepted somewhere. There's a lot of insecurity there, and it sounds like he doesn't really have an identity beyond, what his plans are for his future. When we met a while ago, we talked about John Hughes movies always having these touchstones of the family. And so far, we haven't really had that. Feel like we should check in with the AI and let the AI know more about the family and our goals and stuff like that.
Do we
and
want to go
relationship.
home and just like talk about this with our parents?
That'd probably be worth doing.
Just lay it on the line like, I'm afraid to go across the country to a school that everybody seems to not respect for some reason, despite it being a great school.
The 14th
Also-
most prestigious in the nation, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I miss my brother who just packed up and left to go to Singapore.
Like, we fucked up pretty royally this afternoon. we went to class, and then, you know, we immediately skipped. One thing didn't go our way. We got drunk with the janitor and like came crashing into football practice, basically. We're at a pretty low point with not many redeeming qualities. Going home, chatting with the family, being honest with them about how we're doing and stuff, I think is good. The other thing is, like, we probably should try and salvage these relationships, or at least establish like a level of honesty with them. Even if they're not, you know, fixable. It feels like we're not being fully honest with Olivia and Max about basically how we're feeling about any of this.
We also have a
What are you
redeem
thinking,
for
Ryan?
our
We
plot
need a-
point in this world named Vicky Kember. I have just generated it. Vicky Kember is a snooty and stuck-up girl. She has a high opinion of herself and believes that everything she says is right no matter what it is. Vicky is eager to help, and she does her best to help everybody. Vicky is also the brainiac of the class. She's the best learner in the class. She sits in the front row and is always full of energy. Vicky is best friends with Mina and helps her with her homework. Do we have a moment with Vicky where Vicky is our wise sage, who like much like Charlie Sheen to Ferris Bueller's sister?
Oh.
Ferris Bueller's Day
Yeah.
Off.
That's cool. I like that a lot, especially because we sought counsel already in someone else that we know and I guess have some sort of relationship with, and immediately he was like, well, I just cope with that by getting drunk and being sad and not listening to what other people are saying. That's cool. Ryan, what are your thoughts on everything so far? What do you think is missing?
I wonder if Liv would check in on him. With
Check
his
in on
concussion,
Tom?
after witnessing that.
That's true. Yeah.
And
What do you
she
think?
can also,
Like, sorry, go ahead.
that's okay. What were we gonna say?
I was gonna ask, like, what do you think Liv's mindset is at in terms of like Tom as a person? She seems pretty tolerant, but
Well, she had also invited him to escape class. So if she truly wasn't interested, she wouldn't make that connection at all.
I feel like she's very used to getting her way, though. Like maybe she enjoys the fact that two guys are very into her.
Okay.
And
Okay, great. So then do you want Tom to end up with her in the end, or
I don't know.
like have
I also don't know.
the
I feel
Ellen
like I want
warn her?
him. I feel like I want him to go to Brown and be okay with it, and realize that none of this is that important.
Okay, great.
That I don't know. That how are you both feeling?
I like, after seeing how Tom's been acting up to this point, I feel like he needs to, like, I don't want to say pull up his, you know, socks and grow up, but like, you know, get over himself a little bit and meet new people. Yeah. I mean,
Or
that's where
just-
my head is at. I feel like as it is right now, he's missing a certain heart. 'Cause he's just kind of being an idiot and pining after a person who doesn't care about him.
He's not using his strengths like drawing, right? He's
Right.
trying to be somebody else. But also, there's a B and a C and a D.
Wait, what?
An A and a B and a C in the picture. I see grades.
Oh, all the way down to
Nice.
F. That's a terrible eye chart test.
What do you
A, B,
mean?
C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way down.
I like the one G you threw in there.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I'm a musician. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, that's fair. It's fair. I was making that note earlier, like before we went live. I was just like, oh yeah, the musical alphabet ends just that one letter after. What would we have? What could G stand for if it were a grade?
God awful. Okay. So if then we want to push towards Tom just going to Brown, or going to his interview at least, and maybe the interview is what helps him realize like who he is. They ask him a lot of questions at an interview, like, why do you want to go to this school? Where do you know, how do you see you'd be a good fit? What are the things you want to study and work towards and stuff? And maybe in that academic study sort of environment, he realizes that his art is important to him. Maybe we can have a scene of him doing his art to feel a little bit better, or work through emotions and get his thoughts in order or something.
Right. And with Liv and Vicky, because did you write that?
I did.
Oh,
I wrote.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Because Liv is kind of, if you've seen Legally Blonde, like Warner.
Mm-hmm.
And Vicky,
Yeah.
Vicky's like, what's his face?
Forrest. Emmett.
Emmett
Forrest.
is like Emmett, and he should actually listen to Vicky instead of trying to impress Liv and just be himself the way that Elle is supposed to just be her best self.
Yeah.
And he can admit, like, I don't even know if I got into Brown. I've just been saying that to everybody. And so, like, the pivotal moment is his interview with Brown.
Yeah.
And
That's
how
cool.
he
I like that.
has to prep to be his best self in order to actually get in.
Yeah.
And leave the rest
All
of
right.
it behind.
Yes.
Yes.
That sounds good. Even if he says he's been doing prep work for his interview, he probably has been, taking little piddly notes about, like, I guess this is why I'd like to go here. He hasn't done any real introspection. This would be a great time. That sounds good. You guys ready to just keep on going with Act 2, as it were? If you got more
Yeah.
tabs, let's read.
You look around the waiting room and see Vicky Kember sitting next to you. She says,
Liv asked me to come by and see if you're okay.
Oh,
you say,
Then
Fine.
why are you here?
Vicky asks.
I don't know.
You say,
I guess I was sick or something.
You don't look sick.
Well,
Vicky.
I'm not. I just passed out.
Vicky says,
I heard you got an interview for Brown.
Oh, boy. Oh, she knows. Yeah. I got an interview for Brown.
That's great. Can I ask you something?
Sure, what is it?
Can I come with you?
damn.
Damn! Big
I'm
ass.
hitting enter.
Okay. You can come if you want.
Yeah. I guess I could. Do you want a lift?
Yeah, I could use one.
You're done with driving today.
All right, some of this needs to be fixed.
No, wait.
Oh, why?
What? No, wait. Are we going now? We're gonna drive across.
Yeah, you're
country
gonna go
together
now. Get in there.
All right.
Stop waffling, Jack. This is your moment.
You're right. This is it. I guess the interview doesn't have to happen at Brown University on Rhode Island. We don't need to
No,
take
of course not.
We don't have to take a road trip across the country together.
No.
That makes much more sense. Yes. Problem solved.
Follow me.
Vicky leads you outside, and you get into her 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix.
That's only a 10-year-old car. That's pretty good.
She takes good care of it.
Oh, I bet. Tell me a little bit about Vicky then.
Do we want to ask? Are you going to Brown?
Yeah, that'd be nice to know. Like, why can I come with you? I'm assuming she has an interview as well. What did the AI say about her again? Who is she as a person?
She is nerdy and very smart, kind of the brainiac of the class, always sits in the front row, tries to be very helpful.
Okay. Do we have, like, an established relationship of any kind with her, or have we not really interacted with Vicky?
Undetermined as of yet.
All right. Are you going to Brown?
No.
Uh-oh.
I got an interview at UW.
Oh, University of Washington. Huh? That's I hear that's a good school. That's cool.
Do you want to ride down to UW?
Yeah. That would be great.
Well, I'm going to drive you down there.
I did have an interview at Brown. That's at the convention. I was wondering if we could just go there first, swing by, and maybe hit the UW afterward. Maybe.
Let's use UW as our warm-up for our Brown interviews.
How about that? Vicky
Oh
said.
shit! Ooh, Vicky. Vicky knows a lot about us.
Boom.
Oh man.
It's just that they have a great drawing program, and you like drawing, right?
Yeah, I love drawing.
Well, maybe I'll see you in a couple of years.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see you in a couple of years.
See ya.
Wait, where? Wait, where are you? Don't leave me here. Did you just drop us off at UW and leave? Red Gamer Soul says, wow, a lot of this stuff is not crazy. No tripping on a curtain falling out the window or landing in a dumpster. No shady people at a Starbucks trying to sell you stuff. No mystical or magic stuff. I'm amazed. This is true. The last couple of times we've like the last couple of times we've done like a coming of age story, whatever that may be, there's been an element of wackiness. And despite going out there getting drunk with the janitor and like careening onto the football field, everything's been fairly grounded in that 80s film slightly heightened way. Ryan, what are your thoughts on Vicky?
She's wise.
in the 13 lines we've had of her.
She's listening.
That's very true. She might be like the first character to have actually listened to.
She's observant.
Yeah. Everyone else we've spoken to has either been surprised by information we, clearly build a part of ourselves around, or just flat out don't listen to what we have to say. Are we good to keep reading, Eric? Or are you still typing?
Let's go here.
Okay. Vicky?
You call out as she gets out of the car at UW.
What if I came with you, just to see what UW is about? I hear the Brown's okay with, waiting.
Yeah. I'll talk to Lud.
Yeah. I'll talk to her.
Vicky goes inside. You follow her.
Cool. It feels like the first step towards growth. I'm going to call it a challenge completed to some degree. I'm going to take a drink. The challenge of going to an interview, admitting that it's not an interview, I guess, or not an acceptance.
How about we just say UW isn't the most prestigious school, but you might be happy there.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I think that's what it is, right? And it's giving me some shit about a dating with a guy named Brian.
I'll talk
We're
to
just
you
gonna
later.
leave it there.
Yeah.
AI doesn't know when to end. I should have said that end. I don't know. I feel like that's actually kind of nice. Whereas you get caught up in your own mind of all these things you have to do. But I don't know. And no one else is treating it as important as you are. But I don't know.
Right, because ultimately the challenge was we're constantly lying to ourselves and everyone around us in terms of like what our status is and what our future looks like and what we even want to do. And as soon as we've met Vicky and Vicky takes us to a new place, and we've already opened up to, what's his name, Corwin, about our real situation here, we feel okay maybe pursuing something that we're more happy with.
And I feel like if you were to make this movie, like you could really play up things like Corwin would be a point of fear. Like I don't want to turn out to be like Corwin.
Right.
Right? This strange man who lives in a shack and gets drunk all the time. But it isn't like the university he went to or the world that made Corwin. It's Corwin who made Corwin, and and there's also I don't know. And I think it's interesting that the Brainiac girl who's the top of the class is choosing to go there as well.
That's also true. Yeah. Because it could be said, like, if you were to play up Mike and Liv, they're going there because they're prestigious and expensive and, whatever it may be. Maybe they have good grades and stuff, but, like, they're only looking at them because they're top schools, and that's all they really care about in that world. If we're going to UW, are we at least getting away from the town? Is that still as important, or is that just, like, we drove there. It's probably close enough to our little town or whatever.
Yeah, it was the University of Washington, I imagine. Right?
I don't really know how big Washington is. I'm assuming it could be at least a couple hours away. But
this one, I don't know if it's a real university.
Oh, I see.
So we'll say it's out of the town.
That makes sense.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of nice. How do you
What are your
feel,
thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah.
Hey.
The University of Michigan is in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is, I can't remember, but it's not close to Detroit, which is the most famous city in Michigan. So this could be the same case where
I see
his small town Woodhaven, but the University of UW there could be much farther upstate or coastal. Even though he had plans to go east, he ended up going further west.
That's also true. What are your thoughts on this as like a conclusive story? Does it feel complete? It's literally open-ended, but
yeah, it's getting there. I feel like we still need him to have a realization we need to see the interview at UW, I think. Where he can speak for himself on what he actually is capable of and what he has learned. Like, if maybe the interviewer can ask, like, just despite academically, what is like you asked me, not embarrassing, but what was your biggest takeaway from your high school experience?
Can we write that all together?
Yeah.
Do you think? Let's do it. We'll arrive at the interview, have him ask that question, and let's just sort of collectively bash that out and give a nice little ending. Because you're right, that's good. It's one thing to be subjected to, we're going to take you to the university and drop you off there. Maybe you're happy there. It's another thing for him to, speak for himself and literally see the lesson get played out.
That's circumstantial. This is him choosing to.
Yeah, that's great.
To be here and why.
There were bets in the audience that things would go off the walls. And it turns out Country Buns was correct. It did not go off the rails whatsoever. It was actually a pretty normal. No aliens, no weird fairies showed up. It was a perfectly grounded story. And actually a quite charming one. What would you call this movie? Oh, sorry.
What do they ask, Ryan? What do they ask? What's the question in the interview?
What's your biggest success coming out of high school, not academics? Or what was your biggest takeaway from
the lesson, like the biggest lesson you learned?
Biggest life lessons you learned during your 4 years of high school or 5 years of high school?
That's cool.
I know what mine is.
What was yours?
Apologize to people. Immediately.
Before it's too
Promptly
late.
and honestly.
And give them a rose.
Find yourself in a clean lecture hall facing 4 members of the UW faculty. Ludd stands up and asks,
What's the biggest life lesson you've learned in your 4 years of high school?
My biggest lesson. Well, I guess it was your classic, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Yeah. That's a good lesson.
Well, I bet you can think of a better lesson than that right now.
This is our chance. Let's not blow this. All right, let's write this out. Let's do it. All right, Ryan, why don't you...
Oh, shit, I hit enter. Fuck.
Oh, did you? Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, it's just going to keep spouting nonsense. I want to kind of tie
No,
into
it
something
ended
nice.
with it not going well. Let's
Oh,
have a
no.
thing.
All right, Ryan, go ahead and use your writer brain if you don't mind. I'm gonna throw this one to you. What do you think he would say in this? And then Eric's gonna type it down best he can.
Or we could do it one word at a time.
One word at a no.
Yes.
No, let's tie this together. Let's have a good script, Eric. Let's not make this a game.
Ryan, what do we say?
We say it's it's more important to be honest with yourself first.
That's cool.
So that you can make choices that will end up serving you first, so that you can be your best self and therefore be your best self for those around you.
I don't know. It sounds pretty selfish for UW. Our motto is serve others before thyself. The interview went poorly. That sounds really good.
You look at the four of them and say,
It's more important to be honest with yourself first, so that you can make choices that will end up serving you first, so that you can be your best self for you and those around you. Yeah. That's a great quote.
So that was the better lesson for you.
Yes. It was.
It was a pretty good quote for next year.
Did we just get accepted on the spot?
dun dun dun.
Aw. Nice.
They go back to like the table and they're like, you got a fucking interview at Brown. Like, we have to take him now.
What is he doing here? His grades are great.
He's got like 42 extracurriculars. Like, what the hell? How?
That's nice, actually. That feels pretty good. Does that feel like the heart has it tied together? Is everybody satisfied with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean, like,
Ryan,
obviously,
any other
you know,
thoughts? Oh.
you'd want to like flesh out. I mean, like, as always, Ryan.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
things,
yeah.
Like, we're never gonna get like a full right, like every scene as in depthly, you know, mined as you can. But it's fun seeing. I always find where the AI takes it. It was very cogent today, like exceptionally.
Incredibly.
Cogent.
All the way through. It remembered everything from the names of the two schools we wanted to go to friends, how they interact with each other, their relationships to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually really, really happy with that.
Here's what I wrote for the pin. I did it in two parts this time. I
Yeah.
said, this is a John Hughes-style high school movie set in 1987. Write in a dry comedic tone.
Oh, well, it did that.
Yeah. I just want to say.
Absolutely did that.
Yeah.
Especially with the, they stop kissing and say, yeah, that's a good school.
Anyway, that's pretty neat.
Nice. Ryan, would you like to put the bow on top? What would you call this movie if you were to, shop it?
I was going to say not brown.
Not brown. Spoil the whole movie off the top.
Brown and out.
Yeah. Because, let's see.
Oh, boy.
This is harder than the actual text. Because
It is. It is,
like,
isn't it?
he's not home alone. It's not, well, maybe like Last Days
No.
of School. Too on the nose.
Just
Even
last
though Home
days.
Alone is called
Yeah.
Home Alone is called Home Alone, but
Ah,
and Uncle Buck was about Uncle Buck.
Right. Woodhaven. It could be, Lost Tom.
What was the question you asked me about applying to universities?
Yeah, what was your, like, school application time like?
Yeah, so like I just got the application.
The application? The interview?
The
No, that's a
interview.
different movie.
the interview.
Yeah. That's a very different movie. The application's not bad. Something simple like that, yeah. That's cool.
He doesn't
I like
have
that.
long titles.
He doesn't. No, you're right.
Well,
They are all pretty
Ferris
straightforward.
Bueller's Day Off is a little long. That's the only one.
That's the longest one. Yeah, you get the full character's
Yeah.
title and stuff.
There's Breakfast Club, 16 Candles. The application process.
I do like the application. It's kind of nice. Because then it's also like applying yourself.
The more I'm hearing it, the more I'm actually loving it.
Let's do it.
Application. Are we gonna do a song today,
The
Jack?
application.
Or just run?
I was just about to start generating one.
All right. Well, we have some calls
Thank
for
you. Yes, it's
epilogues
quarter
in the
to 10.
chat, so we're gonna do these in the style
So
of maybe.
while I do this,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So the credits are starting to roll, and then they do that thing where half the credits start moving on one side in a small open,
Oh, great.
small thing. And epilogues, Country Buns is called for Mr. Bruce. So we find Mr. Bruce arrived at school the next day to find.
Also, in the meantime, chat, start shouting out some song titles, and I'll punch in the one I like the most to generate the lyrics.
Mr. Bruce arrived at school the next day to find 40 students waiting for him outside. They say.
Sorry. I was looking at the drawings.
Oh, no worries.
What's going on?
He asked.
We want pictures
The kid said.
with all of us together. Oh,
Mr. Bruce said.
sure.
Mr. Bruce took a photo and sent it to Vicky.
Here. This is for you.
I feel like this is just a picture of small town America. They're just going on. Liv and Mike.
I'm terrified for it to be like Liv and Mike get married and then lead unfulfilling lives having married their high school sweethearts.
Oh, God.
Like, I feel like that's something the AI would give us after all this, and it's just like, oh yeah, no, things were generally okay, and then just for them, it's just like, and they don't live happily ever after.
Well, Liv and Mike leave school early,
How did your interview go?
Liv asks.
It's fine.
Mike said.
It's with a woman who was a professor at UW. She's really nice. Really?
Liv says.
I'm glad. Yeah?
Mike says.
It's fine.
Hold up. Is this just teenagers lying about how great they're doing all the time?
I think it is.
I think it's everybody. Nobody's going to any of the Ivy Leagues. Everyone's
All
just
ones are
saying
going to
they are.
UW. Wow.
And the world goes round and nothing ever happens. That's amazing. Who else did we have?
What about Corwin Jobson?
Log. Corwin Jobson wakes up on the football field.
Orvilius actually just redeemed some points to get an epilogue for Corwin. Will he recruit a new drinking buddy for in between classes?
Corwin Jobson wakes up on the football field and finds...
Uh-oh.
60 students staring at him.
What's it with people arriving somewhere and seeing increasing masses of students? My God. keep doubling every day.
They are the blob.
They yell.
Where's the jocks?
Corwin looks around and says, They're not here.
Where are they?
They yell. They transferred. They told me to tell you.
You lying piece of crap.
You can't win them all. Did we have anyone else? Oh, what was her name?
Vicky?
Vicky. Vicky Kimber.
No, I like the cast.
I mean, I felt like it was pretty accurate.
Fireable
We had some
janitor.
teens. We had a weird teacher. We had a fireable janitor. What else did we have? I don't know. Stuffed shirts.
These are the most slice of life ending.
They're kind of delightful, though.
Yeah, Vicky Kimber arrives at home to find her parents waiting for her.
Hello.
Her father says.
Would you like to come for dinner tonight? With everyone.
Her mother adds.
Sure.
Vicky says.
Oh,
When?
okay.
When? 6 p.m.
Her father says.
Yes.
Her mother adds.
Human teenagers and their human families. Sorry, this is taking some time. The AI, I will say, like, it has been doing well with the songs the last couple of weeks, but it is taking a long time to get it to generate stuff.
I kind of like the idea of a movie where everything is just like hyper normal. You know, like, you know, it's just life. People are going to go, they're going to do their life, but everyone, especially because this is like the number one thing that defines a teenager to me, is that feeling of self-importance, like because you don't know anything else but this yet. And so everything feels so important to you all the time, right? That like, shit, if this doesn't go right, my life is ruined. But the truth is, it's just normal shit, and none of it really matters, you know.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. If you have one more that you've typed up, go for it. Otherwise,
We
I've
don't.
got some text here for you.
All right. Let's
All right,
get
Ryan,
in this
here
song.
is one more code to punch in for our lyrics here. It's a Willie Nelson song that plays over the credits called Young and Confused. I think this is
that an
by
I or
Red
an
Gamer
L?
Soul. Who generated this one. Sorry?
Is that an I or an L in it?
I don't know.
And sorry.
It's an L.
Where do I type that guy?
The same as last time. If you go back, if you go out to like home, and then go to multiplayer again.
Thank you.
Just make sure that it's not an uppercase I. So it's NG uppercase and then lowercase L.
Let me get like a little shuffly country beat kind of going here. Let me go. Let's bring in this drum kit. And, gosh, do I have any country beats? I must. I'd be surprised if I didn't.
It seems like a standard thing to just have on a pad.
Right? Yeah. Let's see here.
I mean, what is a country beat, though?
Just like a little shuffle. Like yeah, right?
Yeah.
None of them are labeled country. All right, what do we got? No, not Motown. I'll find it. I've got some time. Maybe I'll do without. Sorry, that was a lot. That was a lot of noise.
Classic Willie Nelson.
How about oh gosh, what does this sound like? I could do without the ride. We're getting closer. Oh man, this is too much. I'm sorry. I should have done this before the show.
Well, we didn't know, Jack. We didn't know it would be an
That was half
unplugged
the
country
fun.
ballad
It's
at
true.
the end.
All right.
Just play me some piano. Or that.
Yeah. That's not a piano. Very true. Ryan, let's get you to do... I'm gonna ask you to do the final bridge chorus, if you're cool with that. Eric, I'm gonna get you to do the first bridge chorus, and I'll do the second verse chorus.
Got it.
Cool? All right. This, playing over the credits, is Young and Confused by Willie Nelson.
Well, I'm sitting here trying to write this song, but I don't know how. I'm so confused, like I'm young and confused. I'm sitting here trying to write this song. Well, the jukebox playing my favorite song, and I don't know why. All I know is I'm young and confused, and I don't know what to do. I'm young and confused. I'm young and confused. I'm young and confused.
I'm sitting here sharecropping, don't know what to do. I'm sitting here in a motel and I don't know how to sleep. I'm sitting here with a broken heart and I don't know what to say. I'm sitting here with a million guitars and I don't know what to play. Well, the jukebox is playing my favorite song, and I don't know why. All I know is that I'm young and confused, and I don't know what to do. I'm young and confused. I'm young and confused. I'm young and confused.
Well, my mind goes 1,000 miles an hour, and I'm sitting here looking for a sign, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting here in the dark and feeling so alone. I'm feeling young and confused. Well, the jukebox playing my favorite song, and I don't know why. All I know is I'm young and confused. I don't know what to do. I'm young and confused. I'm young and confused. I'm young and confused.
Wow. I actually really liked that one. That was a nice song, guys. Wow.
All right.
There's nothing else to say except that you can find us at patreon.com/imperfectlibrarians. You can type !Discord in the chat to join the Imperfect Librarians Discord community. Thank you to Ryan for joining us this evening. Ryan, do you have anything you'd like to plug at this time? I don't know if this is something you have lined up.
No, but thank you.
Anything you're proud of that you're doing right now? Or later?
No.
That's okay. All right.
I'm good.
Well, I thought we'd end this movie.
Jesus Christ. Nothing
With
that
a
I
quote
do
from
with you, Jack,
John
now.
Hughes.
Thank you for
I
having
will
me.
end tonight with a quote by John Hughes himself, who says, I so desperately hate to end these movies that the first thing I do when I'm done is write another one. Then I don't feel sad about having to leave and everyone going away. Well, anyways, good night, guys.
Night, everybody.